Hola, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Armando F. Sanchez. I'm the CEO, Armando F. Sanchez Production. Been doing a series of shows, and I've been really excited. I've learned so much. It's all been so new to me, and it's about people that work in the area of producing comics, with the artists, the brain trust, the ideas, their inspiration, and it's been a really great group of people. And this all started also with an interview of Fernando Rodriguez, who does the Azteca series, and also introductions by Frederick Aldama, PhD, Ohio State. And, I've sort of gotten to know some of these individuals. Right now, meet two of them. But every time I meet with them, I always end up laughing and cracking up with them. They just get their inspirations of where they get ideas and how they incorporate it into the artwork. It's just really phenomenal, and I hope you enjoyed the show today. We have Breena Nuñez. She comes in from Oakland, California, and Jules Rivera. She is here in the Los Angeles area vicinity, and there's comic fairs, which I keep missing them, but we're going to go to whatever it is. And I know the Comic-Con here in San Diego is really big, so we want to follow them and be part of them and meet them firsthand and enjoy their personality as much as I've enjoyed talking to them. Breena, thank you for being on the program.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm glad to be a part of this.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And Jules Rivera?
Hi, what's up? Yeah, it's very good to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, I have the pleasure of starting this, and I know you guys are going to run with this.
Yeah.
Why do you guys do what you do? Why do you guys, it's not like it's all new. It's all exploratory. It's like you seem to be drawn to this need to do this comic strip. And why? Why do you do it?
Because I don't know how not to. Simple as that. Like, I've been drawing comics ever since I was probably in my teen years. And it's just a really great, fun way to express yourself and to tell stories, to make people happy or make people think or make people just feel anything, It's just, at least I know I got the beast. You got a beast in you, Breena?
I do.
Probably do. Okay.
She's loud and proud and brown.
We all got the beast in us, It's just the thing requires us to do comics and stuff like that. And it doesn't let up at all until we give it what it wants. And then it's cool for like 5 minutes and it's like, okay, now I need something else. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, just gotta feed the beast,
Yeah. Like you, Jules, like ever since I was a kid, I tried drawing my first comic like on college ruled paper. Mm-hmm. I grew up in South City, so I was surrounded by a lot of Chicanos. So most of my best friends were like luchadores and stuff. Mm-hmm. And as somebody that struggled a lot with language too, like comics was the way for me to communicate through my family and to really express like all my deepest sorrows and my moments of joy to like my family and to my friends. So and I realize as we're getting older too, it's like a beautiful way to also share all of our personal narratives, like whether it be like autobiographical or just like beautiful universes, especially you, Jules, that you create with your pieces.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, I believe it's important to both be able to fantasize and create new and interesting worlds that, maybe all of us would want to live in, and also reflect on the world we currently do live in. And just be honest about the stuff that's happening around us. Because I feel like the best person to tell my story is me. And like the best story to tell Breena's story is Breena, right?
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people, they want diversity in media now. That's becoming a really big topic of conversation. But the fact is, there's just some stuff that you got to do yourself, Like, I get the idea that some folks who may not be from our background, they may have our best interest at heart and may want to tell stories about our people, but they're just tone deaf, They're not going to get it quite right. So that's why we got to get in there and go, nah, I got this, boo. We're good. Sit down. It's fine.
One question. I'm not an artist, and I'm just putting my stuff in your place. I'm not an artist. I don't know how to draw. I wasn't born gifted in that area. Can I be a cartoonist?
Yeah. I didn't really learn how to draw until I was in my late 20s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like there are people who enter the arena later on in life, and that's just how their life path goes. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Like I've been friends with Byron Wilkins for a while, and that's a guy who's probably, I mean, he started doing comics in his 50s. Like, I don't know, just what he's turned up. And, you know, he does really good work. He does a webcomic called 1977. He also does a lot of like, you know, classic car illustrations, that sort of thing. And yeah, he's an older guy, and he just decided to get into comics late in life. Cool, awesome. Grandma Moses started when she was 80, whatever.
Where do you guys get your inspiration for the stories, the themes that you guys put into your artwork?
For me, it's always looking back towards just my heritage. I'm Guatemalteca y Salvadoreña, and we had an art show called POW Women in Comics in Oakland last year. I was really fortunate to be asked to be the curator of that whole exhibit, and I wanted to dedicate a comic to my Nahual, which is the crocodile, and my relationship with that. So it's always harking back to indigeneity and trying to make that more visible in comics and zines as well. And the other illustrations I do, just like my homegirls, they're my family, and I feel like they need to be out there in illustrations and to be uplifted as well. So they're primarily my main source of inspiration.
I get inspiration from the world around me. Like it's everywhere. You know, Misfortune High was it's a teenage high school story I do. That was inspired by my time in high school in the ghetto, you know, and it's also it doubles as a talking point to say the likes of Harry Potter or other popular magical stories where yeah, you get to see, you know, kids doing magic and stuff, and it's really fun. But I'd see those stories and go, how come all these kids are white?
Yes.
Oh, we don't have any brown people. Come on, I've seen pictures of London. All right, you got brown people. Come on. So yeah, I mean that was the inspiration for Misfortune High. I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm being down on Jill Rowling or anything like that. It's just, you know, I just wanted to add my own flavor. Like, I wanted to see a magic story that was about brown people doing magic, and I also wanted to harken back onto my crappy high school education. You know, I went to school in Florida. It's not great, but I mean, I succeeded against the odds. I didn't succeed because of my situation. No, I just happened to be freakishly smart and really driven. So yeah, that's how I got out. But yeah, like anything can inspire you. Just walking down the street. Like, what did I see earlier today? Like, I could easily draw a comic about shopping for stools. Like, I was shopping for a stool earlier, and, you know, because I got an apartment that is going to have a countertop with stools and stuff. And I go into this one place that's Scandinavian and has all these really interesting forms and shapes, and it's beautiful, and it's retarded expensive. And I'm like, oh, well, never mind that. Like, that's a story in itself. All of our lives are stories. So we just put them down on paper. That's the only difference between us and anybody else.
Before we move on, I want to keep going with this thread. I do want our viewers to be able to follow you with your work and your inspirations, and be able to find you at different sites. Could each one of you please give us a contact information where our viewers can find you on some kind of social media or whatever information you have?
Yeah, I use Instagram as like my main platform, so you can find me at Breenache, spelled Breenache, and I also have a Etsy store. Just go on to Etsy and look for Technicolor Morena, and my email is also technicolormorena@gmail.com.
Okay, Jules?
Cool. Well, you can find my stuff at julesrivera.com. Let me get that a little bit closer in.
Cool.
julesrivera.com. High tech. It's a Sharpie. You're going to love it. So julesrivera.com. You can also find my webcomic Valkyrie Squadron at valkyriesquadron.com. Let me see if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of Misfortune High in there too. So yeah, a little bit of that. You can find me on Instagram at Jules Rivera Art, on Twitter at Jules Rivera. I got on Twitter early enough so that I could actually get my name. Like, that's awesome. I didn't
Cool.
have to say Instagram. So yeah.
So, hey, somebody out there in the world, I don't know, it could be in Brazil, because this is worldwide. You know, they have an idea, they have a sketch or something, they can send it to you and says, hey, what do you think about this?
Sure. Like,
Oh, that,
I do critiques all the time. Whatever.
that's cool. That is fantastic. So every day, everything situations become inspiration to you. Now, how about the idea if, and again, I'm thinking in terms of someone who's not doing this already, so they're going to you for advice, and the question is, you know, I'm a Latina, I'm a woman, and, you know, is the world going to see me sort of unique or out of place if I start doing comics like you ladies do?
I don't freaking care what people think of me. I just do what I do.
Why did I know you were going to say that?
I mean, I understand that people would have apprehensions because they see comic creators and none of them look like them. Get it. But do what you love. The rest will fall into place. And obviously, we Latinas all find each other anyway. So, like, just do what you do and the right people will find you. Just get out there. Put yourself out there. Just say, hey, this is me. This is what I'm about. And if there might be people who don't accept you, they're not your target audience. Psh, bye. Don't need them.
Mm-hmm. I've seriously been told by, oh, I do that. I shouldn't even make a comic about myself because I'm not that well known. And I'm just starting out. I'm like really green. And I'm like, I'm not even trying to do this to like earn your favor or like to get even your money. Like, for one thing, the money it shouldn't be about the money primarily. It's about showing your most genuine self. And, you know, like echoing what you're saying, Jules, like that's the thing that's going to attract the people the most. And it's going to be like that community that that's going to want to support you in your work. So yeah, people are going to be like, oh, it's like brown girl stories. Like, oh, but no, like your presence as like a mujer in like the comic book industry, it's so important to like infiltrate those spaces because we need to again be those role models for the babies because it's a political statement.
It is a political statement. Just being here and doing what I do, you know, it's just saying, hey, anybody can do this.
Right?
Oh, we're stupid.
Well, if you like, I think I'm learning from you that if people take other people's opinions and they take that with a very thin skin, they immediately get stopped. Where you guys just sort of have a skin about that big, or just really say, you know what, that's beyond it. I'm going to continue anyway.
It's not even about being strong or having a thick skin. It's a matter of being resilient. And when people knock you down, or when people they don't understand you, or they throw negativity at you, just disregard it. It's noise. Like, are you offering me your support? Are you paying me cash? No? Then I don't know what you're doing here. Bye.
If you're not going to help sort of be proactive and help us all move forward, then why are you in the way? Right.
Noise. That's what you are. Noise.
Okay. And do you think people go out of their way specifically because you're Latinas or women to try to stop you from doing it? Or is it just sort of in general, people are just ignorant and they try to stop everybody?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Nobody tries to stop. Who would get in my way? Why would anyone be
Not anybody trying to stop me either.
I was talking with Vida Ayala. She's a writer back in New York City. She actually lives in the Bronx. And she is another Afro-Latina. And we were talking at Emerald City. We're the only two PRs in the entire event, right? So we're just trading some notes. And she's like, you know why people don't bother us in comics? Because a lot of women get harassed in comics, but I just feel like we kind of, I mean, me and folks like me and Vida Ayala, like, I don't know, in my experience, I don't feel like people bother me as much because Latinas have something built in called auto clapback. That's what Vida coined. And auto clapback is basically people see this face and they know if they say something, there's a good chance we're going to say something back. Like, what did you say? What? Like, and there's I'm not actually going to start a physical fight with someone, but they don't know that. They were very worried that me with my giant pointy earrings, I'm gonna say something back to them.
Or they may get incorporated into one of your cartoons, and they're gonna see themselves out there, huh?
They're not even thinking that far. They're just like, this woman might stab me with one of her earrings if I say something undue to her. And like, you are absolutely right. You're smart. Move on.
What area do you think is still lacking for Latinas to get into the comic areas? And that's a very vague question, but is it, I don't know, space? Is it monsters? Is it, I don't know, very general question.
Or in terms of the jobs done by Latinas?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm asking myself, so please guide me.
Okay, Breena?
Yeah, because if we're talking about trying to get into like the industry, like to work for like mainstream comics, I'm not really sure myself, since I do the DIY thing myself, and it's been most accessible for me to like showcase my work in Zine Fest and in an independent like comic book convention like Alternative Press Expo, even though I haven't done that particular con in a couple of years.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but I think for me, maybe it's just like also not enough like knowledge as far as like how to get into those types of like mainstream spaces, even though like it seems like we have like all of these comic book conventions. Like I personally myself wouldn't feel comfortable spending a buttload of monies to like go to a certain convention. That's just me in particular, and that's why I also like the Zine Fest community itself, because we tried to make everything free as far as like admission and accessibility to showcase your work. It's pretty fair the way they treat the vendors as far as like table fees are concerned. But I think not everybody has like the knowledge as far as how to navigate yourself in the comic industry as far as like mainstream comics are concerned. And I'm trying to learn all of that stuff by going to California College of the Arts this year. Yeah, gonna do the fan comics program. So we'll see.
They have a comics program there?
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Everything I've learned about comics, I've just picked up along from other art classes and stuff and writing classes, but it's never been a comics course.
Yeah. But you, Jules, like you're doing like some stuff like with your Barbie comics too. Like, how did that happen?
Oh man. Well, if we're gonna talk about how to break into the industry, the short answer is network. Just network and show off your artwork and be awesome. And be good to talk to as well. Be accessible, be warm and friendly. And if people have dumb stuff to say, you don't even have to tell them off. Just give them an eye roll, just go, okay. Going back to your question, Armando, of what is probably the hardest thing to break into for Latinas, I think in terms of genre, I really don't see a lot of Latinas in sci-fi. Basically, I am the only one that I know of doing sci-fi comics the way that I do. Let's see. I mean, historical fiction, you see more interest in that, because obviously a lot of us are trying to tap into our historical roots. A lot of us aren't in touch with our background, our past. I feel like, well, my ethnicity is all over my face. What I gotta go back in my past for? I'm good. Let's go look into the future, you know? I also see, probably I would like to see probably more Latinas doing something like horror or something like that. That would be fun, right? And in terms of, or you know what, romance comics. What? Tell me that would be hilarious. I mean, seriously, we come from the entire culture of telenovelas. You mean we can't turn that into a comic of some sort? Come on, man, that would be cool.
Yeah, our lives are pretty much like that already.
Seriously. So, I mean, at that point, it's an autobiographical comic.
Right.
But speaking of the actual jobs that Latinas do in the industry, you don't see that much of anything. I might be one of the few PR artists, or actually not even PR, like Latina in general, Latina artists who has, I can't say that I've worked with Big Two, but I've done work for IDW. I have done work for Comics Tribe, a little bit of work for Action Lab. I've done work for Paper Cuts, working on the Barbie series. I've been the illustrator for their last 2 books. And just waiting on the next one. Just like waiting on my next assignment. I'm like, all right, we'll see where this goes. But they're doing a lot of rearranging of stuff at that company, so it may be a little bit. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, we lead Latinas all over the industry. Come on, come to my playground. It's good. I'll let you in. It's fine. I know there's some people who might not be okay with, you know, oh, I feel weird about hiring a Latina. Shut up, I'll hire you.
One thing I did pick up that I wasn't expecting, the idea is that it's not just your art talent, it's also your psyche, the way you think, the way you perceive things. And, you know, it's sort of represented in your artwork, but at the same time, you're inspiring your own self with new creative thoughts. And that's really inspiring. And more of the future will be learning how to be creative like you. Both of you.
Really.
Yeah. God, there's not
Or
enough
like
of that.
fact from fiction or fact from fake news. Like, really? Come on. You need to learn how to think again.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to have to think, all of us, how to think again, because there's so much roboticism. There's so much sort of all one-way thinking, and you're not. You're way out there, and that's really fantastic. And I'm starting to admire and understand the importance of being creative. And you guys are definitely able to teach the world how to be creative, because, you know, you're sort of living the moment.
Good. I hope so.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I learned that. I learned that today. We're getting close to ending the show, but once more, please give out contact information where our viewers can find out more about you and get inspired, like I have been, to learn more about what you guys do. And those of you that sort of thought, yeah, I wonder if I wanted to start something. You know, if you're doodling all the time, chances are you're headed that way anyway. So take that opportunity. So please, I'll start with Jules this time. Could you give us your contact information one more time, Jules, please?
Okay, once again, that is www.julesrivera.com. Jules Rivera, illustration. The webcomic Valkyrie Squadron is available at www.valkyriesquadron.com. Find out about other books that I do, like Misfortune High. Love it. Foil stamped. Beautiful. And I do a lot of work with Comics Tribe. I mean, just Google me, Jules Rivera. I'm the top hit now. Me, this guy, that other guy. You, other Jules Rivera, you're out. I'm in. What?
Awesome. Breena?
You can reach me at Breenache through Instagram. That's spelled Breenache. Shout out to my grandpa for giving me that handle. That was his nickname for me since I was like a baby. And let's see. I have an Etsy, and my Etsy shop is called Technicolor Morena. And my email address is technicolormorena@gmail.com. And you can get a copy of my latest comic book zine called Crocodile Girl.
Oh, show, raise it a little.
Yeah, pull it back. We need to see the whole thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, let's see. Let's find the page right here.
Crocodile Girl.
There we go. My little Nawal being herself. Yes.
Oh, that's cute. That is so cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, you know, there's 10 million questions I still want to ask. It's just starting the tip of the iceberg, but we're running out of time. Gosh darn it. But I'd like to give both of you time to closing statements and, you know, tell us what we should look for and, you know, how we can all participate in this wonderful creative world you're both in.
Pick up a pencil and draw something. Critique. Contact julesrivera.com. Dude, that's just it. People are like, how do I start comics? Just draw them out. It might not look the way you want it to, but when you get enough practice under your belt, then you'll figure out how to do that. But you got to start. So, like, start. Draw something. Now.
I love it. Love it. Breena?
Let's see. Yeah. You're made out of magic. Your ancestors were scientists, artists. We came from a people of geniuses. So anything you do with a sketchbook and a pen or a pencil is nothing less than amazing. And be okay with owning up to your mistakes. You'll never know when you're going to stumble onto that next great idea that's going to be genuine and draw a lot of people that are going to feel less alone for being a brown woman.
See, we're not alone, and that's what I love about doing stuff like this. We are not alone, and that's awesome.
So people that do this kind of work or starting, they connect with people like you, and they become part of a great group, and you guys seem to support each other, and you're constantly working new ideas off each other and inspiring each other to be more and more creative. That's
awesome.
Wonderful. That's awesome. I want to thank both of you for taking the time. I know you both have very busy schedules, and please also on your website, one last final question for our viewers. If they want to find out something else that's coming up, some kind of a comic fest somewhere, do you guys post that on your websites?
I should. I don't, but I should get
what?
that.
Okay.
Well, I haven't done anything new in a while, so that's why I haven't done too many convention appearances lately.
So is there so let me tap into that. Is there a place where our viewers can go to and find out if there's something going on in their local area?
You mean something? There's a lot of something.
Convention.
Over my head right now. You mean like a comic event?
Like, is there a central web page where it says here are the events, upcoming events that are going on in different parts of the nation that have to do with Comic Expo? Huh?
Usually, if I'm going to be exhibiting at like at a zine fest or a comic book convention, I'll definitely like post it on my personal social media.
Yeah, just follow our social media. That's where we'll tell you when things
stalk us, you know.
Okay.
We're not really stalking if I tell you, hey, follow me on Twitter @Jules Rivera. That's not.
I mean, that might work. I mean, because different people are in different places throughout the nation. So
exactly.
You guys are both here on the West Coast, but you know, I think somebody mentioned that there is going to be an event at Ohio State. Somebody mentioned that.
Oh yeah, Crossroads Comics, I believe. I think SoulCon is going to be making an appearance, and I'll be over there later this October. I don't have the specific
when SoulCon is. Yeah, I've missed the last couple of SoulCons just because it's right on top of New York Comic Con. So I'm like, don't make me choose. I have to make the Sophie's Choice of comics conventions. I'll see if I can make an appearance at SoulCon though, because I think it would be a really great show for me to work in terms of just reaching that target audience, the people that I want to sell my books to, and the people who, you know, I think would like my stuff.
Great. Okay. Well, people should look up as the comic conventions and hopefully come up to you and says, hey, I saw you on that show. I want to thank both of you now for being on our program, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the honor of having Breena Nuñez and Jules Rivera. They just gave in their time. I know I caught them in the middle of a lot of movement, but please follow both of them. I will definitely do so. And be inspired to respect your own creativity, put out your own pictures, your imagery. There's wonderful ideas here, and I hope the show is watched by high schools and middle schools across the world. So anyone can do it, and always contact them if you need new ideas. And teachers out there in the world, you know, get your kids. You want to connect them back and engage them with issues and topics that are important. Please turn to these two wonderful ladies and all the other persons that are in the comic world, and I think you'll discover a new way to educate kids as well, where they'll inspire themselves. Again, I want to thank Breena and Jules for being on the show. I'm Armando F. Sanchez. Please, you can contact me if you have any questions. lsacnational@hotmail.com. Again, I'm Armando F. Sanchez, Armando F. Sanchez Productions. And thank you very much, ladies. And I hope to have you both back. And you made me laugh, and I love you both. Oh, that was so awesome. Thank you.
Armando.
Peace.
Adios. Peace to both of you. And success. Adios.